So the idea of enforcing, like having borders, is popular, and the idea of getting people out of America has lost popularity, but it's still, something most people want.
60 plus.
What ICE is actually doing is not popular at all. Everyone fucking hates ICE. Even the Republicans are like these jackbooted thugs with their masks and no body cams, killing Alex Preddy. ICE is not popular. And I've seen poll after poll after poll. Like, people are talking about this a lot. People don't like the way Trump is doing it at all. And I think back to, like, what was it, 2 months ago? They were in Chicago and they took everyone out of that apartment building at 2 a.m., separated children and parents, zip tied them on the curb. They didn't let them get dressed. They were out there in the cold wearing whatever they were sleeping in, children crying. And you know how many illegals they got in that apartment emptying? 2. They said 37, and then they revised the number because they're fucking liars. It was actually 2. You can't just empty an apartment building of all of its citizens, zip tie them on the curb at 2 a.m., children crying, and act like this is a reasonable way to do law enforcement. These were people in their homes.
Get it? What we need to do, and this actually dovetails with what I've said for a long time now, which is that the most effective way to get rid of illegals is a 100% tax on all remittances and start jailing business owners who knowingly employ these people. If you actually wanted to solve and this is why I'm convinced this song and dance is almost demonstrative of Trump not even wanting to solve it. It's a big, huge, kerfuffle, but those are the things you would do initially if you really wanted to make a dent. 100% remittances tax and go after business owners.
Can I interrupt just real quick for the listener? If you don't know what a remittance is, that's when someone works in America and sends money back home, usually to their family. So Taylor thinks if you send $10 home, you should also pay a $10 tax.
Think reverse tourist.
What if they use crypto?
Yeah. Okay, well, I mean, I don't know how we would handle that, but I think we can handle most of it by shutting down, because most of it goes through like Southwestern Bell.
I think that these are very ingenuitive people who have worked hard to invade our country.
What was that word?
Grubby. Ingenuitive. That's the word.
Yeah, Taylor, your vocabulary is suddenly failing.
You thought I would miss that? You thought you could slip ingenuitive in there?
That's a word, Taylor.
Oh, so true.
Such ingenuitive people like.
And you know what's funny about that word you just made up is I knew exactly what you meant.
That's
it's actually the newest word, Taylor.
I'll have you know, as a wordsmith, I'm just surprised that you would even pipe up about my.
Is a wordsmith someone who constructs new words on the spot, like a blacksmith?
Like exactly what it is, like Shakespeare or me. Yes. I think it's real easy. I think it's real easy to take their money and put it into a crypto account and have they've got a debit card so they can spend it as they want. And then they just
wildly overestimating most people's intelligence.
Someone like me will step in for them, though. I will in Spanish language, I will advertise my crypto dollar coin and how it's stable and how Taylor, all you got to do.
Let me jump in. I think Taylor and I are looking at this from different ends of the spectrum, because he's like, you're wildly overestimating their knowledge on crypto and this and that. Meanwhile, I'm coming from the world of H-1Bs who do that shit like it's typing on a computer, like it's nothing. And those are the ones who probably send more money home.
Dude, like you are 1,000,000% right with the Indian thing with remittances. A significant portion of India's GDP is remittances from Western countries. They are just reverse touristing us to oblivion. And it's like that. Get the hell out of here. That's crazy.
Yeah. For what it's worth, culturally, kids are more expected to support their parents as their parents age. And I mean, if you see it as this like exporting cash from America, like I don't blame you, but they would also support their parents if they stayed in India.
Yeah, but I just think that most of them should be in India and those jobs should be for Americans. And if those tech companies have to pay more, good. Good.
By the way, it is a word, Taylor. So
wait, what?
You should know that.
Is this a brand new Wikipedia page? I'm going to look at the history on this. It's not.
I just added that suggestion.
I literally thought you might have.
Dude, that would have been clutch if I actually wrote the whole thing.
Dude, like more than
it's
any
non-standard. It's a made-up word.
Oh man, like when you linked that it was a real word, Kyle, I had like fear. I was like, no, I just went so hard in the paint on this. I can't be proven wrong about ingenuitive.
He's just extracting America's cash and putting it in his own pocket.
That's how that same feel, which I also dislike nonsense like that. I don't know the story, but I take it at your word. Like, that's how I feel about illegal immigration and H-1Bs, is I feel like we're being strip mined by people who don't care. They don't see themselves as American. They don't care about our future, our prosperity, American kids. They don't care. They're just here because we're the land of opportunity, and they also get like very good, is it like SBA 8 or SBA 7 loans that are only available to migrants and immigrants that we aren't. And that's why every convenience store and whatnot is owned by immigrants now, is because they get interest-free up to like $5 million loans to purchase these businesses. The local business owner goes, hell yeah, I'll sell that. And they don't have to pay interest on it. And then when the time comes, they just chain migrate another person in, transfer it to him, and then restart the counter. Like, there's a tremendous amount of fraud that needs to be rooted out. And I think everyone is probably on board with, or most people are on board with rooting out fraud. I don't care where it is, whether it's Trump or illegals. Like,
I don't think Trump is going to root out any fraud that doesn't directly benefit him. I think he is a chief fraudster, and he loves seeing people commit fraud as long as it's not his enemies.
Trump didn't even get on the fucking Minnesota shit. It took like a 22-year-old kid just going to locations and calling and shit to expose the beginnings of, or not really him, because it's been a story for 20 years. But
no, it was that story. It was that thing.
2008. But that was what got it into the mainstream, right? But all this stuff was available, and people knew about it for years. And no Republican stepped in, no Democrat stepped in, no attorneys stepped in. People knew this fraud was occurring, and they didn't care.
I'm sure there's more fraud going on in Texas than there is in Minneapolis.
Dude, obviously, like Texas, California, New York, the giant states. Of course, there's going to be more.
Well, not just the giant states, the states with all the illegals. There's 2.1 million illegals in Texas alone. At least they say that's their number, and it's higher. It's higher. I bet there's 5 fucking million Texans that need to be gotten out, rooted out from their.
They're doing it. So I there was a liberal talking point that was incorrect, and I heard it and I was like, yeah, let's fact check that though. And what they were saying was like, why are they in Minnesota? Minnesota is not really ground zero for illegal immigrants. That would be, off the top of my head, like a Texas, a Florida, a California. Turns out Louisiana. I wouldn't have guessed that one, but that's actually number one. And
capital problem.
I can actually do it. Louisiana, then Texas, then I forget. I think it's California and Florida's fourth.
These are per capita numbers.
I think it's total illegals.
I'm not sure. These might be raw numbers. But in any case, Texas, number 2 in deportations. And I was like, oh, and it turns out there just isn't a big fuss there, that they're all on the same page. There's a fuss in places like California and Minnesota where they don't like ICE. But if you're thinking they're only doing blue states, no. Blue states are just the ones making the noise. The red states are cool with it. Sure. But if you go out more broadly and just talk about police deporting people, the argument against it, the reason police don't normally enforce immigration is when you do that, suddenly immigrants don't have a police force. Like it could just be open season on raping anyone who's brown. And maybe they're on asylum status. Maybe they're on H-1B. But if they have to worry about getting deported, then they can't go to the police for help.
I think Taylor wants the police to keep the peace, as it were, like not get involved directly hands-on with deporting people, but be there to defend the ICE agents.
I follow that from the crowd. And why you'd want that in Minnesota, because it's so hot right now. But the reason that police generally don't get involved in deportations is if you do that, then suddenly a whole bunch of humans don't have police anymore.
I agree with you. Like, I'm not saying that the police should be involved in the deportation process, just like Kyle just said. The whole purpose of Minneapolis PD being available was so that after someone who was fucking with ICE agents, as Kyle says, like Alex Preddy, kicking their taillights out, spitting at them, agitating, like ICE could detain him briefly, but then it would pass to Minneapolis PD, and they wouldn't deport him, obviously, or anything. Like, they would just lock him up and be like, all right, you committed a crime. ICE has handed you over to us. Here's the video evidence of you committing the crime. You got to go to jail. And so they wouldn't, I'm not saying local PD should be involved in the deportations at all. They just need to be there to handle the violent people who encounter the feds.
The issue is they have created a force of jackbooted thugs. And those people are killing citizens, beating up citizens, etc. And now the citizens are standing up against them because they don't like that. Kyle linked a video where the guy's like, you raise your voice, I erase your voice, right? This is the culture we have right now. And every time one of these guys murders somebody, the Trump administration runs cover for it because fraud, murder, anything is okay so long as it's one of Trump's guys doing the fraud, the murder, etc. And we need to change that culture.